So as you're aware, none of our schools in Stanislaus County are able to open in August. We're going to have to implement distance learning. So our rationale and our thinking, with direction from our board, was to delay the opening, hoping that things get better. If they don't, we're still prepared to execute a distance learning model. But when schools are able to reopen, our students will recoup about a month of class time instruction, either at the beginning or at the end of the school year. Well, I think if we're all being honest, distance learning is a poor substitution for in-class instruction. Every district's a little bit different, and to a certain extent, we're not doing anything different. We are all following the same guidelines, but your local school calendar is determined by your local governing board. And so our board made the decision, pending formal ratification of a new calendar on Monday, to delay the start. And quite honestly, this is a calendar that most of us older folks are used to, starting the day after Labor Day and going into mid-June. With fall sports, high school sports, likely to be out of the equation, it doesn't impact us in that arena. So it seemed to be, the logical choice for our district. We do have a lot of parents who are hourly employees who can't be home with their kids. And so whether people believe it's inevitable that we'll still be in this situation in September or not, again, we're able to pick up a month of classroom instruction at some point. And I think that's beneficial for our kids. Well, I think it's a situation where there's no happy outcome, really. Every parent situation is a little bit different. I'm aware of some very affluent communities that have gone to a week-on, week-off schedule, but most of their parents are salaried, six-figure income earners in the tech industry. They can work from home or have a 5-minute commute. That's a very, very different environment for most of our parents, and quite frankly, for many of our teachers who are also going to be struggling with daycare issues. I don't think the 1-month move in and of itself is as big a deal as the fact that we may have to start in a distance learning model. The number of days of instruction isn't going to change. The academic calendar days aren't going to change. What's fluid is the number of days that students will be in a distance learning environment. And I can just tell you emphatically, I've taught in a distance learning environment for graduate students. They have a difficult time. We see some of the kinks with WebEx and Zoom. Imagine teaching a kindergartner on their first day of school in that environment. If we can avoid that, I think we owe it to our parents and our community to try and avoid it. There is no guarantee. There's no guarantee that September 8th will be able to open up schools with a hybrid or full capacity model. But at least we've bought some time. We're giving kids, again, an additional month of instructional time in the classroom at some point. And really giving our parents and teachers even more time to prepare. I would say as a district, in terms of executing a distance learning model, we're in a good position to do. We have Chromebooks for every student. We went out and deployed hotspots over the summer to some of our migrant camps. We went from about 82% of our families with internet before the close down to well over 90% now. But that still does not make it a perfect model for delivering instruction for young kids. It just doesn't. And I think as educators, we have to be honest about that with our parents, honest about that with our community. It is not the preferred method of delivering instruction in a K-12 situation. the short answer is we've been working on that all summer. We made the decision as a district that we would purchase PPE face masks for all of our students to make sure that they had them. We're also purchasing digital thermometers for all our parents so that they can test their child's temperature daily. But the short answer is you cannot completely social distance in an educational environment. And I think that's what's driving the decision to keep schools closed. If we sort through all the research, and I've sure been reading a heck of it, a lot of it lately, I think what it comes down to is masking is an effective way to mitigate transmission when you cannot practice social distancing. So we've been going through all of our schools and making some changes, increasing outdoor seating capacity, increasing our health office space so that we can social distance in those environments where it's more likely to be transmitted. And it's going to take a lot of effort to educate students of all ages how to wear their masks appropriately, when it's appropriate to take them off. And it's not going to be a perfect system any more than it's perfect out in the, in the businesses that we all frequent. It takes everybody's cooperation. It's going to require ongoing education. And we're prepared to do that. Again, our decision to delay the start of the school year was really to delay the implementation of remote learning or distance learning, and at least give our students at some point an extra month of classroom instruction with their teachers, which will happen at some point. If not in August and not in September, at some point it will happen. You're bringing up another tough issue. We did a communication survey of our parents, and all of them like to get information differently. So on really important issues, we communicate in multiple methods. So on this, for example, we're sending home an auto dialer message. We're sending it via electronic communication on Pete's Jar. We're posting on our website, and we're sending the information hard copy postal mail. We want all of our parents to continue to check our website regularly and for updates, and then but we'll communicate in multiple manners. And quite honestly, that's exactly what we're asking them to do in our letter and our end of the year report, is to keep checking back with us.